We're going to make a bonbon. If you look at the project number 9 in the Unwin book, it's called a bonbon tray. This is called a pinch pot. It's a slab pot, pinch pot are two different things when you're working with clay. We're going to actually kind of mix both of them together in a weird sort of way. So what I want you to do first is I want you to take your lump of clay. You can see that it has these, where I've folded it over on itself, it has the big crack. I'm going to take the meaty part of my hands, not my fingers. I'm not trying to pat it like that. I'm trying to like actually use some good muscle, some good strong movement, because what that is doing is it's forcing the air out of that crack. Remember I said before that if there's a big crack in your air drying clay, a big air bubble on the inside, it will cause it to crack and fall apart. If it is a big air bubble in the kiln, in a kiln dried clay, it will cause it to explode in the kiln. So it's really important that you, when you work with clay, that you try to not get any air pockets in it. So when you're smushing clay together, you want to really smush down so it becomes one surface. And when you folded it over on itself, you really want to give it a good whack. But I'm also moving it around to make it into a ball at the same time. I'm not just flattening it. So I make it into a ball. Okay, so there's a ball. And now I'm going to flatten it. I'm going to set it down on the table and I'm going to flatten it to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Then I'm going to use my fingers, leaving it down on the table because it's starting to dry out. I'm using my fingers and I'm smushing the clay out, smushing it out to the sides. This is why it's somewhat like a pinch pot, because I'm actually pinching using these fingers to push and pull up at the same time. So I'm pushing the clay and I'm pulling up with this finger all at the same time. It's one swift motion. So it's pushing the clay out to the side, out here, and it's forcing the clay to go upwards when I'm doing that. And I'm also using my other hand too. Trying to make the walls of my pot at the same thickness. You can see that they're starting to crack. I'm not going to do anything about it right this second. I'm going to go ahead and get my whole shape the same thickness before I address the cracking. I don't want to address it right now. So this side is thinner. I need to make this side a little thinner, and you can see this is thicker and that's thinner. So this is great over here, the thinness. I want to get everything to be like that. So I want to make sure that when I'm pinching it, it's all the same thickness, and you'll be able to feel it. It's hard to describe with words. You'll be able to feel it when you're pinching. And if it's not the same thickness, then you can smush the clay around, pinch it, and make it go where you want it to go. So mine is not stuck to the table. If it stuck to the table while I was smushing down, I would take my wire cutter and I would go right underneath it really thin. And a good idea is to have a little bit of water under there. So if you were to put water beside the pot, if it's stuck to the board, you put water there and you use the wire cutter and you force the water under it. Obviously mine's not stuck, so it's not really going to show you really how it would work. But what it would do if it was stuck is that the wire would pull the water through the clay and it would loosen it up, and then you would be able to take it off of the board. I did end up cutting it a little bit right there. So there is some water on my clay. So now that I am done with the shape, I'm gonna actually not done with the shape. I want to make a scalloped edge like the bonbon. So you see it's a Trinket tray. At this point, you can shape it and pinch it into anything. I could smush it down this way and pinch here and make a heart shape out of it. Or I can make it be scalloped. I can push in and pull out my fingers just by manipulating the clay. I'm getting back over here to this edge and realizing I've already made. So I just made it to be a scalloped edge all the way around it just by using my fingers to pinch and to pull. Okay, so remember, I haven't messed with the cracks yet because I wasn't done with it. And it's not dry, it's just cracking. Remember what I told you about licking your lips. When they're chapped, licking your lips makes it worse. So it's the same thing with adding water to dry cracking clay when it's cracking around the edges. When you're finished and you know that you're done, then you can wet your fingers or use the sponge so you can add a little bit of water to it. And this is when you come back and you clean up those cracks. And you smooth that clay around to clean up the cracks. Use my little tool because my fingernails are getting sharp again, sticking where I don't want them to stick. So I'm going to go back and use this tool. I could also use the wooden tool and smooth. Kind of what I'm doing is scraping off a layer of the clay and kind of forcing it in the cracks too. So it's filling in the cracks with clay at the same time as moistening it and making it not cracked. So it's cleaning up that edge from the cracks. So I want to do that at the end. Unless it's brittle and breaking and cracking, then you need new clay. But if it's just from the edges, from manipulating it with your hands, just wait until the end when you've got it the shape that you want it to be. And then you can clean it up and let it dry at that point, because you're not going to touch it anymore. So it's not going to get cracky again. So after you clean it up, you're going to set it to the side and you're going to let it dry. And then the edges will be smooth and they won't have the cracks in them. But if you try to fix the cracks and then you keep working, it's just going to crack again. And you're going to have to fix them again. And you're just going to lose so much time just fixing the cracks in your dish when you could be working. Because the longer it takes, remember, the longer you work with it, the more it's going to crack. So if you stop and focus on the cracks, that means you're handling it more. That means it's going to start to get brittle, and it's no longer going to be just surface cracks. It's going to actually be dry clay that's not good to work with. So just wait until the end when it's just surface cracks to make them pretty. So I've smoothed them out with this. I'm going now to use wet fingers to really smooth them out, to do a final smoothing. So there, with what was cracked clay, it's now no longer cracked. And this, again, is the method that we use for all trinket boxes, anything that you're modeling from a lump of clay that you're not building up as an armature, but you're actually pushing it out to be a dish in some form. This is the method that you would use to do that. And it could end up in any shape, octagon, tray, heart-shaped tray, trinket box, anything. So there, now my cracks are gone. I'm gonna lift it up closer to the camera so you can see my cracks are gone that were there. And my box is finished, and I can set it to the side because I'm done with my trinket tray.